Shalom everyone. The name of this video is called The Explanation of Let Us Make Man. According to the Torah, there's only one God, which you can read in the book of Exodus chapter 20 verse 3, which is the first commandment. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 35. Deuteronomy again chapter 6 verse 4, where Moses tells the children of Israel, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord." And in Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 39, where God states that there is no other God with him, there's not God in the middle, and two other gods sitting beside him, known as the Trinity. Alright, so since this is the case, how then do we explain Genesis chapter 1 verse 26, where it says, "And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness." And if you notice in verse 27, it says, "So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them." See, the his and the he are reference to God in the singular, no other God, no Trinity or nothing. So how then do we explain verse 26, where it says, "Let us make man"? Well, there are three explanations, and the first one is that since the scriptures have been translated into the English language from the Hebrew, a lot of people don't realize that, the Hebrew is a Semitic language, and the "let us make man in our image" is the Most High referencing to the earth, where he made man, formed man from the dust of the earth, and breathed his breath into him, and it gave him his spirit. So it's a Semitic language in poetic form. It's reference to the earth. That's one explanation. Another explanation is that the Most High was speaking to the spirit of wisdom. And when you read the book of Proverbs, written by Solomon, the son of David, and you go to chapter 8, it shows you that wisdom is described as a feminine spirit. Does not wisdom cry, and understanding put forth her voice? She standeth in the top of high places, by the way, in places of the path. Now, when you read Proverbs 8 verse 23, start at 23, it says, "I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was." Right? And when you continue reading in verse 26, look, "Before the mountains were settled," 26 says, "While as yet he had not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the highest part of the dust of the world. When he prepared the heavens, I was there." Right? So the us, "let us make man in our image, male and female," is the spirit of wisdom, okay, which some people refer to as the Holy Spirit. It's not a masculine spirit, it's a feminine spirit. Alright? And the spirit of wisdom was there before the world was created. So the spirit of wisdom was there with the heavenly hosts, which is the angels of the Most High. And when you read the book of Job, chapter 38, verse 4, it says, this is the Most High speaking to Job, "Where was thou when I laid the foundations of the earth? Declare if thou hast understanding." And when you get to, was it verse 7? Yeah. "When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy." See, they was there before the earth was, you see. And when you read the book of Isaiah, chapter 6, it mentions us. Now, if you start at the first verse all the way to the 8th, says, in the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord sitting upon his throne, high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple. Above it stood the seraphims. Each one had 6 wings. With twain he covered his face, and with the twain he covered his feet, and with twain he did fly. And one cried unto another, and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. And the posts of the door moved at the voice of him that cried, and the house was filled with smoke. Then said I, Woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips. For mine eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. See, God is the King. Then flew one of the seraphims unto me, having a live coal in his hand, which he had taken with the tongues from off the altar. And he laid it upon my mouth, and said, Lo, this has touched thy lips, and thine iniquity is taken away, and thy sin purged. And I heard the voice of the Lord, saying, Whom shall I send? Whom shall I send? See the I, the singular. And who will go for us? Then said I, Here am I, send me. So Prophet Isaiah is asking the Most High to send him. See, the us is the Most High talking to his heavenly host. Yeah? The Most High is the King, the Lord of hosts. So that's the third and last explanation. So there's something to bear in mind when you read Genesis chapter 1 verse 26, when it reads, And God said, Let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Alright? Peace out. Shalom.